let them know we should have that available. About 4 minutes. Corey, you want to get started or give them about 4 more minutes?
Up to you. Up to you. The
Okay.
recording will be made available. I don't want to hold your
All right.
party up. I know you got people waiting on you.
It's not much. Let's do it. Let's see. Y'all let me know when y'all can see my screen. Let me see. Let me start this and then try to do it. I need sharing privileges, Court.
Try again. I apologize for that.
All right.
You should have
And
full.
much like if you've never had a one-on-one with me, I usually tell people, hey, y'all don't have to sit on mute. If you have questions, I don't mind being interrupted because it doesn't really stop my flow because I don't work off a whole lot of PowerPoints. It's really just knowledge that I've obtained and have distilled in me. So if you have a question, hop off mute because I'm probably not going to check the chat that often. So feel free. But let's get it. Let me know. There we go. All right. So, hey guys, it's me. I'm Dr. Chaz. I just wanted to let y'all know a little bit more about me. I am recently retired. I do have a background in pharmacy, HU graduate, Howard University. I've been trading since 2020. Court was one of my mentors, educator. I've learned a lot from him and from several other mentors since then. I won't say I was self-taught, but a lot of the things that I've learned came from me being able to assess information on my own. And sometimes you have to do that. Just put your head down, start learning, not trying to hop in and out of discourse, in and out of classes, but just really buckling down in what you've learned and applying it. So trading has really changed my life. Most people be like, why would you go from medicine to trading? And it's really about time freedom, giving you the flexibility. Like if I was working somewhere, I'd probably be stressed right now, like, no, I can't stay. No, I can't do class because I got to be at work tomorrow morning. With this flexibility, I can do this. I was celebrating with my best friend who turned 40 last night. I've been able to pay for and fund a wedding, multiple trips, assets. I was able to afford to buy my home, pay my car off. So this is a very lucrative and very informative and life-changing skill set to have. Like I said, retired pharmacy. If you want to know my favorite tickers, I love SPY. SPY, me and SPY go together. If I wasn't married, you say that was my wife. TSL has become a very great top contender in SoFi, and that's much different from if you've been on any of my previous work where I had a trifecta with SPY, Tesla, and Ford. Anybody know me now? We do not trade Ford now. If you know why I don't trade for it now, you can drop it in the chat. But yeah, we're not trading for it now. And my goal here, most people think it's just fun to trade, make more money, and be rich and all of that. And that's cool, but I've always lived in purpose. When I first decided to be a doctor, it was about helping people. And I was just like, I want to help people, but I don't want their blood on me. So again, the same way, I want to help people, but I don't want to step on anybody else with doing it. So I do want to make a lot of money, but be able to give back and help, veterans who are hard up on their luck. I came from a two-parent household, so I've seen a lot of foster students not have the same, well, not foster students, but foster children aging out of foster care and not have the same privileges. So I think this skill set would help them extremely, and people that are experiencing homelessness. So that's my ultimate goal, is to create a system around that and be able to put that through. So again, just a little bit about the doc. Let's keep moving. So we're all here because we want to know how to trade. How do we trade? What's the best system to do? And what I've heard, you've probably heard it, or if you haven't, is KISS. Keep it super simple. A lot of you guys think you need, from one of the traders I know, like David, he always say, get all that spaghetti off your chart. You got every indicator, you got all the fibs, you got all the levels, you got everything on your chart, and it's just too much going on. So my key thing is to keep it super simple. We're going to work through the ticker I pick right now is Target. If you got a ticker you may want me to break down, we can go over it. But I'm going to show you just my setup and what I teach my students how they start out. We're going to start with a higher time frame. We're going to do a top-down analysis, which is going to cover plotting support and resistance. And if you're a newbie, you don't need to look at more than three charts a day. And I'm not saying different time frames, but just three charts. If you're looking at multiple things to trade, it can be a little overwhelming. And I want you guys to keep it super simple. Simplicity pays the bills. Let's just keep it. I say boring trading pays the bills. You don't have to trade a lot. You can keep repeating what you do over and over again and keep paying your bills. Again, one strategy. Another key thing is wait for your setup. I've seen a lot of newbies come over from Discord or come from other places and start trading, and you guys will not wait for the setup. You guys will just go, is it time to get in? Is it time to get in? Is it ready? If you don't see your setup, it is not time to trade. So I'm gonna switch over to the chart and then we will keep moving. So 1 second. So like I said, we're going to start with Target. If any of you guys have ever used charting or what you use, I use TradingView. A lot of my mentors have used TradingView to teach. So I'm gonna kill this camera for a second so y'all can focus on the chart. And can y'all see that okay? I don't know how to set up yours.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So
Yes.
right now you can see I got levels, I got a couple of indicators on, but we're gonna kill all of that. And most people are like, no, 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 don't take it off. Do not be afraid to erase your chart and do it again. When you first learned how to write your name, you didn't get it right the first time. You didn't never not have an eraser. So when you first start trying to trade and do your charting, give yourself some time to chart, erase it, and do it again. I don't want you to get like me. The first time I learned how to chart, my chart was sacred, and one of my dogs jumped on my lap and my total chart erased, and I thought it was the end of the world. So I don't want you guys to be where, oh, I got this chart set up, I saved it, resaved it, saved it 1,000 times so I can come back to it. I really want you to know it is like second nature is writing your name, how you're going to chart. So I'm going to remove those, and we're going to start with a higher time frame. So I'm just going to put this out to all. When I do that, your chart's gonna get messy. You're not gonna be able to see everything. So what I want you to do, drop down to the settings over here and auto fit it. That's just gonna bring everything back into the frame. Now, most of you, if you've never learned how to trade or you haven't been trading for a long time, you're just getting used to it. So you've only seen the market from maybe here to here. But I like for you to at least go back to, you don't have to go back to before COVID because everything these companies were doing before COVID is kind of obsolete. Everything 2020 before marketing standards, all of that changed after COVID. So you can plot before, but unless a company is not trading back into pre-COVID days, you don't have to go back that far. I would say start with 2020. But if you look at Target, and Target has been having some problems due to their D&I initiative, and this is why I picked them so we can see how news or CEO decisions affect the company and how that affects your chart. So we're just gonna start here. We got 2020. I'm not gonna add anything. All I'm doing is marking the top and bottom of support and resistance. So what I'm going to do, I just use my Alt H to put that on the chart. But if you just come down on the second button, under your lines and come to horizontal lines, and that's what you're going to use. Now, most people, they just start out and they just hit the first button and start trying to put trend lines and doing this and trying to make it even, and they spend hours. You only need to use your trend lines when you're trying to make a trend, something that's going out this way, diagonal that way. Don't try to use trend lines to make levels. Just use your horizontal and vertical lines. Most people never figure that out because nobody ever tells them, but just use your horizontal lines. Now, if you never plotted, this may not seem easy for you, but if it's under your feet, if it's at the bottom, that's your support. If it's above the top, going through over your head, that's your resistance. We're looking for things that are going to break above your resistance or go below your feet and go below your support. So all we're going to do is keep marking this. And say, well, Chastity, you make it look easy. What if I can't see it? What if I don't know the levels? Well, I have a helper for you. So when you first start writing your name, you didn't just go out and write it. They had a little tablet for you to trace. Well, inside of TradingView, you do have that indicator, and let me type it out so you can see it. Support and resistance. Levels with Break by Lux Algo. It's one of my favorite tools for beginners that are not comfortable with marking up their charts. So when I cut that on, you all see where I put my levels. We can cut the support and resistance on, and boom, spot on here. They didn't even mark that one. I marked this one, they didn't. They left this one here. So what you'll see on the chart is it's showing you where volume and levels were, where there was support and resistance. So this will help you see where, like when you're indecisive, you're like, I think this is important, but I'm not really sure. This will help you see it. It doesn't mean you need to add every level, but this does help when you come into a crunch and you get some news of a company breaking out or a ticker breaking out, and you're like, oh, I've never traded them. I never marked up any levels. And now you're like, well, I can't take a trade because I can't read the chart. I don't know where this is. You can cut this little helper on. It's going to help you plot support and resistance. If that makes sense, go ahead and drop a one in the chat. Just let me know y'all are still with me. You understand target. You understand where I've gotten the indicator of what these levels are. If you're confused, say it in the chat or drop a two. All right. Okay. So far, so good. I like it. So now again, take your time. We're going to drop down. So we started at all. Some companies have not been around that long, so you may only see a 5 year. But we're going to drop down to the 5 year. Once that adjusts, now your chart is in a different frame. Each time we drop down, we're going to get closer and closer to our trading range. So again, I'm just going to drop levels. I may need to auto fit it just to see. And again, once you start to do this, you can see, okay, I got support and resistance. I can see where to add, where to take away. But a lot of people get where they just get analysis paralysis and they want to put as many levels on the chart and it just gets really congested. I would say if that's you, clean the chart. Just come back over to the trash can, drop every one, and do 3 to 5 lines per drop down. So what does that mean? 5 year, 3 to 5, 1 year, 3 to 5. That way you're not overly trying to simplify where these levels are. Now, if a company doesn't trade a lot in per day, if it doesn't trade a lot of shares per day, you're going to get a lot of lines because they're going to be support and resistance smaller and smaller. Companies that move a lot, Apple, Tesla, you're not going to have as much range. So just understand the charts may look different and the levels or times or price between support and resistance can fluctuate depending on how many shares are transacted and how many dollars move per day. So now we got it. I'm not seeing too many more I want to add. And just because they see it, if it doesn't make sense to you, don't add it. Charts are like your kids. I don't walk up to people and say, hey, do you think my kid is cute? I don't really care. It's your chart. I have to trade it. I got to feed this child. I got to raise it. So if your chart looks good to you and you can trade from it, that's nice. Your chart setup might not be great for me to set up, but it's in order for you to make money, not for me to say whether it's cute or not. Whether I think your chart is good or not doesn't make you, it's not going to make you make any more money. So make sure it makes sense to you. You can also get feedback and just say, hey, does it make sense? But not, is it pretty or do I like it? That is neither here nor there. So once you break down from a 1 year, I might add this one. And sometimes when you look at your chart, you may see other places that you want to add. I could add one here. I could add one here, but I'm going to wait for now. I'm going to keep dropping down. So we've done 5 year, go to a 1 year, going to get even more space. Now, when you start dropping down, you're going to get something called gaps. And gaps are created when there's a significant distance away from where we opened or closed on any trading day. So it's a good thing to add your gaps as one of your indicators. Just come to your indicators, go to gaps. It's just going to be one that's not created by anyway, and you're going to cut it on. What you're going to see, I see a space here, but this might not be visible to new traders. And when I cut that gap on, boom, I cut the eyeball on. Now I can see multiple gaps. Sometimes you may want to put a level there. Sometimes you may want to create that level. So one way you can do that is you can just do the top of your level. Boom, we just got 2 lines. Or you may want to recreate it. So if I see that's the gap and I think, oh, I think we're going to retrace into a gap, I'm going to come over here And then I'm going to go to my shapes and do a rectangle. And I say, oh, we're inside the gap. So when you hear Court, you hear Kendra, we're trading inside the gap. This is what we're saying. We're trading inside of here. And some people need that visible. Just having it over here may be easy for more seasoned traders, but newbies, you might need a visible. You can say, oh, we hit the midline of the gap. But if you didn't draw it and you didn't actually mark it, you may not see that midline. But actually here, we trade target, held support, got back into the gap, and traded up to the midline and then rejected. So those are some terms that you may have heard before. Now you can familiarize yourself and how you can see it on your chart. So again, we've done simple things, just price action, support and resistance, and we're adding gaps. Another little bonus is if you don't know what gaps are and you're still not understanding, click on the indicator, hover over it, come over to the three lines, and then come down to about this script. You're gonna get this box. So this is when you're like, I don't understand, but I don't want to go down the YouTube rabbit hole. TradingView has a video to let you to kind of help you understand gaps, and then they have a brief description explaining it. This is where I want you to educate yourself when you're not understanding what the indicator is doing and have a clear understanding of what you're using and be able to use it effectively. So if that makes sense for gaps, let's drop a 3. Let me know if we're getting a little information about gaps. Does that make gaps make a little bit more sense to you? Perfect. Okay. Great. Keep going. Got some gaps on here. So do I leave them on all the time? No, like you saw it, we can cut the gaps on and off. You just decide how you want to use them and level them. So I'm going to skip the year to date because your 1 year is going to look the same. And we're going to go to 6 months. Each time we drop down, we're getting closer and closer to our trading range. Sometimes I may have to auto fit to get it in frame. And you can see there's multiple levels in here. I don't need them, but you can see where they help. So I'm going to cut them off. Oh, wrong one. Here. Now it's just a lot of congestion. I'm just going to see what's major and where we're getting multiple hits for support top and bottom. And again, there's a lot of consolidation in here. If you don't see it, it's not making sense. Don't even mark it on the chart. Wait till you get to a lower time frame. Gonna go on, go to a 3 month. Pretty much same. If you ever get to a space where you get to the chart and you're breaking down your analysis and you don't see a spot to put a line, that's okay. This is almost having a test and the answers in your face, and you're like, it can't be that easy. And it can be. Don't try to make a level or support if you don't see it. It may be more prevalent as you drop down into lower time frames. So don't feel like, well, Chastity said 3 to 5 lines every time I drop down. No, I'm just giving you a range that you can use as you change multiple time frames. But that's neither a minimum or a maximum. Depending on the company you're trading, that can vary. I'm going in multiple times. Boom, I'm good. We can do a little low here. You can also look to the left when you're trading and day trading and you're getting into spaces where prices move previously. You want to always look back to the left because price and buyers and sellers are going to want to buy and sell where they did previously. So if I saw this support and I already had my level back here, so this was where Target was trading at on August 21st. It repeated back to a level that it was at on June 25th. That wasn't a mystery. This is where buyers were at previously. So if you had to mark this level on your chart doing your top-down analysis and price was coming down, you'd know exactly where to exit the trade. There is no mystery. Price is going back to where it had been. We got 3 months. I'm going to drop down to a 1 month. Any questions so far as I continue to drop down? Some people ask, like, do I do the body or do I do the wick? Depending on where you're trading and how much consolidation is on the higher time frame, we can take the wick. If I'm doing it on a daily and we're trading the next day, I sometimes like to trade the body. I don't want to get caught up in holding a trade too long. And then I get stumped out or I let a trade reverse on me because I'm trying to hold and squeeze out the very tip of top of those dollars when I can just take my profit where there's way more volume than just at that top, and then I get caught up in the price moving down and I'm losing premium on my contract. So 1 month is good. There's several other levels here. Let's see, my question, are we good? Do you chart the same way for SPY and the indices? I chart the same way for everything. This is just like your generic way of plotting a chart, and then there are specific strategies that I use for different tickers, whether it's indices or with SPY or ETFs. But the charting basis right here, this is what you would do basic for anybody when you're charting, regardless of what the ticker is. So I want to point out this little spot right here. Big area. What do we got? Probably a gap. So if I cut that on, see that big old gap there? So if we're trading Target, we can see how Target is retracing this gap. Boom. And pretty much on point of what I just told you guys. Target retraced and rejected right at that midline. So how do I know if it's more bullish? Oh, wrong button. If we can close above the midline, we're bullish to complete retracing the gap. If we close below, we could come back and retrace the bottom of the gap. Can you please say the steps again when charting, identifying the gaps, pre-market high? We haven't gotten to the pre-market high and low. We're just plotting the levels, and then we would get into pre-market high and pre-market low. But yes, we will go over those because that is very important with our simplicity. The way you identify a gap, I can see it with my naked eye to see where price action is closed previously. But if you aren't able to see it, you can use that indicator gaps and it will show you where the gaps are presented on the chart. Now on the 5-day, we are inside this gap. I can see, I'm going to actually remove it for now. So we can see it was a rejection right there. Found some support here and here. So we're almost done. We're down to the 1 day. And you guys might go, oh, you went through that so fast, or that was so easy for you. This would take me forever. That's because you're thinking about doing this every day. Once you do this on a Sunday, let's say you have 5 tickers. You shouldn't even probably have 5, maybe 3. You're going to do this on Sunday. Now, when you start the week and every week forward from today, your charts are already marked up. Now you're going to go into those next steps, which I think it was Brittany just asked about the pre-market high and low. You've done this one time. You don't have to keep repeating it. So it's not something you can make it feel overwhelming that you have to keep doing it. Once you've done it once, it's there. The historical is there. You can come in weekly and erase lines that you feel are irrelevant or that did not stick. But once it's done once, you're good for your following weeks of trading. So on to our next step, she asked about the pre-market high and low. So I do, just like Corey, if you've been in a court classes, he does the boxy box. I don't put mine in a box. I just do the levels. So how do I know how to mark pre-market high, pre-market low, or what levels before I trade? One key thing I would say is you can cut your levels off. And what I'm going to do is hide them. I'm going to hide my drawings for just a second and take the gaps off. And we're going to go up to a 1 day. And sometimes you may have to auto fit it, but here we don't. So now I see, okay, here is the high. Now you can see it. That's on a wick. I'm going to come in. Oh, I forgot I took them off. I want them to show though. Can you add fibs for confidence? But that'll make okay. I don't use the fibs. I've had a couple of teachers, but it's not as confluent for me because I'm very comfortable with my levels. And I'm pretty spot on when I do those levels to the fibs level. I think Pastor and Kendra go over fibs. It's just not what I use on a regular basis. This is what I'm most comfortable with. And again, if fibs work for you, by all means, make sure you keep your fibs on. It's just what works best for me. I don't like a lot on my chart. I don't like to, and I'll say this. If all of these you've gotten on TradingView before and you could see that little red exclamation point, meaning your indicator isn't working. So if there's nothing I can use but drawing my support and resistance levels, I can trade. I don't want to depend on I don't know my levels because I can cut my fibs on what is that fib indicator is not working. So I first like for you to get comfortable with price action, knowing support and resistance, which are naked eye, and then using the indicators as your like backup retracement. Again, you know what's there, but you're more confident in yourself versus being dependent on the indicator. It's like a self-driving car. It can do it, but I'd rather do it myself. So I'm going to cut these on. I'm going to change the color for 1 second of these levels. This is the one that is the daily. So I'm just going to make it a different color for now. We'll make it blue and I'm going to dot it. You can make distinctions. You can make it I'm sorry, dotted, or you can change the size. So I can say, okay, the daily will be a 3. And then I mark the bottom of the daily with a 3 and that's blue. So boom, I got the daily. So when I come back and trade the lower time frame, I know blue is gonna be my daily. I'm gonna come down to a 5 minute. A lot of people, if you first started out with me, I traded on the 1 minute religiously and I was very good at it, but it is very overwhelming and can be a lot of anxiety. The support and resistance indicator, come to indicators, type in support and resistance levels with breaks, and it's by Lux Algo. So when we get in here, I have my daily, or the previous day high here, and my previous day low is blue. Now, when I want to get my pre-market high and low, again, I love sleep. It's my best friend. I'm not looking at the market at 3 a.m. I'm looking at the market at 8 or maybe 8:15 before it opens because whatever happened at 3 doesn't really matter. What does that mean, Shasta? Like, what do you mean you don't get up early? No, I don't. I like my beauty sleep. But you can just get on in extended hours and you're going to look in the brown space. So if I was looking at the day before, I know here, there's the pre-market high, pre-market low is here. It didn't really change from the 3 a.m. mark to before. So no need for you to be up in the middle of the night. You can't place an option trade during this time anyway. 15 minutes to 30 minutes before, go look back, pre-market high, pre-market low. And I usually make another distinction. If I'm marking pre-market high, pre-market low, let's just take post-market Friday as being the high and low. I'm going to mark it and I'm going to make it a 2 and I'll make it a dotted line. That way I know there's a distinction. Oh, boom. So now I can come back into regular trading hours and bam, now you got some frames. So if I want to take a put, I know we probably need to break below pre-market low. If I want to take a call, pre-market high. We can also add in once the market opens, we can use the orb. Kendra's big on the orb, and I did not use that before she got over here, but I love it now. It gives you way more confluence into which direction, which is the stronger direction to go in. And I love it for that. Another thing with K.I.S S, you want to keep it super simple. It's not just, again, you marry the trend and you swing trade the open. If you're going to trade open to the first 30 minutes, speed date that thing 15, 20%, get in and get out because you could get a 9 a.m. Central Time reversal. So make sure you're understanding the time frame. So when you're using the orb, you're looking at the 15-minute candle. So you can either just naked do it and go to the 15-minute and look at that candle, or you can cut the orb on. I like it on my 5, and I'm very okay with that. So if we were to mimic it here, here's our orb from Friday. Yep. So there's 8:45. We're closed above the orb. That's a strong bullish move. And there's the rejection and a sell back down to retrace to an orb. So it just depends on which time frame you like. But I do like to trade at the 5, but I will go up to the 15 and the 1 hour to see where the trend is for the day. The other question, if I could, I'd be on the, yeah. All right. So this is how I trade. If you want something simple each day, Mark your support and resistance. Mark your pre-market high and low from the previous day. Then look at the previous day high and low, and they're going to give you the indication of where buyers were strongest, where buyers were weak, where they start going in. And this is before, like, once you just be able to understand the chart. Once you've got this, that's when you can kind of hop in and use the mogul algo. And now you can say, okay, now I got points that are going to tell me, hey, I can go and buy long now. I can sell my short. I can trim my short. Things that are giving you more confluence and more edge. Not going to be the ultimate thing where you can say, oh, I'm just going to buy the indicator and I'm just going to sit on here and wait for it to tell me what to do. You still got to practice this background and understanding how to read a chart, how to navigate your chart, and understand how price action is playing out. Any questions about that so far on how to like simply mark up your chart? You can hop off mute.
Which orb do you use?
I'm using the opening range testing, and I've also dabbled with one other one, but let me show you who that one is by. Opening range testing by Busy Business Bee, and I've seen some people use the orb by ZZ Crypto 123. Either one is fine. And if you're wondering what are these other indicators on my chart, Be Nice has gone over the Ripster cloud. I used to use the Ichimoku cloud very religiously until it became a little inconsistent for me, so I stopped using it. You can, we, at the end of the call, we'll be going over, oh, Kendra got it. I didn't see it. Okay, cool. All right, so charting. Once you watch this and play this over, I want you guys to do a split screen. If you can put this on your tablet and then, or put this on your phone and then set your chart up and go through it, it's going to make it easier. No, it's not going to be crisp the first time. No, it's not going to be crisp the second time, but this takes practice. That's why I say try it on a Sunday where you're not struggling or trying to do it while the market is open and trying to trade and understand what your chart is reading. Do it when the market is closed. It is best. Let's get back into it. So, trade psychology. Not only do you need to know how to trade, you need to know how to mark your chart up. Psychology is very important. We say trading, so we think that incorporates being a trader. So if I work on plumbing, I'm a plumber. But along with being a trader, you have to be also become a capital manager. That's what you're doing. You have an asset, which is managing the tickers or the stocks, and you have to be able to use that asset to bring in more assets. So I want you guys to think, when you get into the markets tomorrow, not only are you a trader, that is what you're doing, but you are a capital manager. You're plumbing. That plumber is plumbing, but you're a capital manager that trades. It doesn't always have to say, I'm just a trader. Being a capital manager, make sure you're reducing your losses, making sure you're taking profit when you need to, and using your edge. I've heard courts say this plenty of times. We just try to find an edge in the market. The market is set up for us to fail. So if we can get that edge and play off of it and make much money as possible, that's what we want to do. Find your edge. Your edge may be one ticker for 30 minutes every day. It's not a competition to compete with anybody else's trading or anybody else in the market. It's your edge, not my edge, yours. So make sure you're taking some time to understand yourself, because if you have a problem being patient with your kids, you're going to probably have a problem being patient with the market. If you have a problem with leaving the casino after you win money, you're going to have a problem with your trading. And that's why I say create a system of accountability, create a system where you have a blanketed plan that you will stick to, because that's going to be the thing. It will hurt your trading if you're not using your edge and if you're not focused on profits and losses. Like I said, give your trades time to run. A lot of people say they'll cut their trades when they're winning and never cut their losses for them to come back. I try to tell all of my clients, when you get into a trade and you see it go -10, -20, -50, and then it goes back to like -45, you start getting hope. That drug is very powerful. It's strong endorphin. You're like, oh, I got hopium. It's going back up. Now I'm at -40. and you don't cut the trade and now you're down -60. What I would suggest is retrain your brain. Once you get to -50, cut the trade. And if you're confident, get back in. You're much more likely to take your trade from 0 to 15% than you would to cut your -50% and take a loss at -35. And that probably went over some people's head. Think about it again. You're in a trade, you're -50%, and then it starts going back in your direction, and now you're -35. So you think you're going to get back to break even and profitable. So you're going to keep holding on with that hopium, rather cut it at 50, re-enter the trade. You're going to get 0 to 15% and take your profit and get out of there. Because you know the loss. So mentally, we just don't want to cut a trade when it's red, but we are more easily like mental manipulation to cut it at a positive 15%. So try that out next week. If you have a problem cutting red trades and not closing your green trades, once you see it drop, cut it, get back in. If it's positive, take your wins and get out the way. But it's really a psychology and mental mindset, and that's why the brokerages have your portfolio when you're in trades. They turn red and turn green. They're trying to invoke your emotional perspective of it, where you will stay in the trade as it's green, and you will hope that that red trade turns green. Cut all the emotion out the way. Change your mindset of being in a bad trade and not having to revenge trade or get your get back, and just being profitable if you're confident in the play. If you've ever been in that place where you did not cut a trade at 50% because it was coming up and you probably would have cut it better if you went 0 to 15, put a 7 in the chat. If you've been there, let me know if you've ever been there before. If that sounds like you. I've been there. I'm gonna tell you, I've been trading for a while and I've been there. I see that -50 and it start going back. I'm not cutting it because then I gotta get back in. Boom, holding too long. We've all been there. Everybody's been there. But the mindset changes when you say -50. Okay, somebody put if I double down. Now, if you're going to double down, have a standard. If I'm at -50 and it goes 25 and we're moving forward, I could double down there. And when I get break even, I'm at 25. Or I'm at a positive 25. That is a possibility. Please don't try that with those zero DTE. If you at midday lunch and you didn't did that, like I'm not going to recommend doing it, unless you got strong confluence or the chart, or we got news or something coming out. Don't try that. But if you got time in a contract, let's say you're swinging a contract for like a month out, it went down 50%, now you're at 25, it's reversing, going where you want to go, then you could double down. But have a standard. Don't just double down because you're at -50. It needs to show progression before you start getting back in the trade and doubling down. Hold on here. Gotta do better. Winnie, if you're having problems jumping in too early, it could be your charting. You need to be able to see where it's time to enter and exit and not getting in too low, not knowing support and resistance, where it's breaking, and knowing the direction of a trade. So confidence, the charting comes with confidence. Even if you're taking signals, you need to be able to read your chart to know why did they signal that. Like if you don't do anything on your, if you get into the 14-day trial, look at each analyst that's inside of there and mimic the trade or watch it and replay it back out. Why did they take it? When did they get in? And where was the best place to get out? Was it at a particular level? Did they get there 20 and 30%? When you start retracing trades, it makes you a much better trader than just a copycat. That's the type of copycat and I want you to do. Copy my trade if you can mimic it successfully and do it better than me. Not just because I gave it to you. I want you to be confident there. Another part of trade psychology is journaling. People don't like to journal and they don't like accountability. If I have a trader who's struggling with trading, I tell them, send me all your trades first. If you have something you think is your best work, you have no problem sending it to your teacher. But if you know it's a sloppy trade, you know you're rushing to get in, you're gonna hold your horses before you send it over to me, work for the perfect setup, and then take it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But get your trading journal. It doesn't, I always tell people it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to go buy some $40 journal. You don't have to go to Amazon and get a $40, $50 trading journal. It can be a notebook, composition book from Dollar Tree. It's just a place for you to look and be able to reflect and kind of put shame back in there. Like understand the trade, like, oh, I did bad on that trade and I need to see how I do it better than, oh, I did bad. I can just go put some more money in my account. We want to journal it, understand what went wrong, fix it, and then move forward so you can see in a month, are you still making the same mistake? Being able to see what's happening and fix it. Accountability is important. So plan every trade. When you're trading and you're looking at your chart, once you've made those levels and we look here on target, I use another indicator, the HER, to let me know, okay, what strike prices are even viable? Some of you just get out here and say, okay, target's at 99, I'm gonna go 110. Look at this chart. Look how far 110 is. If you this is where you want target to go. From here to 110. Why did you pick 110? Oh, it was cheap. I picked it because it was cheap. Where is Target probably going to go to if it's going back up? Probably back to 100 if it's going up. Where's it going to go if it go down? Probably 99, 98. Let's get something viable where we can make some money and get out the market instead of us sitting here hoping I just needed to drop one more dollar so I can get a couple of dollars out the market. Actually take a look at your chart and see what's a reasonable strike to take. What's a reasonable range for a stock to go to? If you're trading, you say it could go to 110. Well, Target got to get past 101.35 before we can go to 110. Excuse me. It's got to get past the previous level of a resistance or where it fell. Got some sellers here at 105. So understanding what strike prices and what range you can get, super important. What strike prices can you afford? Not just because they're cheap. What's your profit and stop loss? Most people get in here and no, I don't always trade with a stop loss, but I've been trading for quite some time. And if you're trading in Robinhood, that's going to be another hindrance. I recommend everybody get on Webull so you can set a stop loss and take profit, set it and forget it. Also, we want to commit. This is like you want to commit to your great setups and you want to speed date short-term setups. Again, the beginning of the market, between market open to 9 a.m. we're speed dating. Don't get married to those plays unless we get confident because you'll have a good trade in the morning and it will plummet you for the rest of the day. So we want to make sure you are sticking to your plan each and every trade, not just one time, not just two times, not just, okay, I did it all week. Now it's Friday. I can go be crazy. We want to create some discipline there. If you don't have any discipline, you don't know what to set. A simple discipline plan, 20% stop, 30% take profit. It's not always that cut and dry because that's going to change. If we're in a 20% trade and the trade was $20, you have a 20% stop loss, you're only doing $4. Well, that's going to be different if I'm in a $200 trade with a 20% stop loss and a 30% take profit. So this is just a simple plan, but if you want some help, take out a sheet of paper, write down every price contract you would be able to buy, $100 contract, $50 contract, $200 contract, and then write down what you're comfortable and what you're not. And let that be your target. If you get emotional, like I'm in a $200 contract and it loses $50, I'm a freak out. That's your discipline. That's your comfort. That's what you want to stick with your plan. Because 20%, I could say 20%, and that may be too much for you. So find out what's comfortable for you when you're taking profit or cutting your losses. If you need help, ask for help. I didn't start out doing this on my own and just being some genius and knowing how to trade. I believe my background in chemistry and science helped me be able to understand and read charts, but you always need help. I'm not a self-made trader. I've had many mentors. I've sat in many classes. I still take classes and still learn because there's always something new we can learn about the market. So I do offer one-on-one mentorship, strategy calls, trade signals and trade guidance, along with the other analysts inside of Discord and group mentorship. And I believe Kendra's dropping a few of those in the chat. But if you want my channel, Chasing Bad Chaz, inside of Discord, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Dr. Chaz. There's my website if you want to reach me, and my email if you have more questions or want to reach out to me. But yeah, I just wanted to come through and give you guys some information on charting that has helped me tremendously. Y'all see me? Did my sharing stop? Hold on, I can't see.
Yeah, you stop sharing.
Yeah, your screen is
Oh,
still sharing. I'm on,
did it stop at the end with my name? What happened?
just yeah, you can reshare your chart or reshare your screen. You still have all permissions. There we
Oh
go.
no, could y'all see this?
It's loading now. Yes, we can see your slideshow. Is that what you want us to see or your chart?
No, could y'all see this slideshow before?
Yes, now we can see need help. Correct.
Oh dang, I was reading to you guys and y'all didn't even see it. My bad. I couldn't see anything,
We,
but
we
I'll leave this up so you guys can see where to contact me.
We saw it.
Perfect. I thought I hit it too fast, but I'm gonna come back on. But it's open mic. I'm an open book. Y'all got questions? Y'all wanna y'all what speak up? Thank you.
You did great, Chaz. That was a beautiful explanation. You simplified everything. I love simplicity. Simplicity is key. Hey, everybody, it's Lady. Chaz, you did a great job. And I'm here. I shows up just
I appreciate
because
you.
I
I
believe
was
in
about to
it.
say I know that voice, but I don't know that name, so that was different. Thank you, lady.
You're welcome. This was nice.
Don't
Yeah.
be shy. This is your chance. Like, I mean, $100 an hour call, and you got me on here for free right now. Y'all should ask some questions.
I'll be saying that. That's why you got to start yelling. They don't be
Yeah,
listening. Please.
I don't got it to yell, lady.
I'd be like, oh, so y'all want to talk? All right. Pay the price. Drop the link. That's it. Next time you gotta,
Yeah,
let me not
Kendra
be.
got it. Kendra's dropping
I
all the
have a
links. So
question.
again, yeah,
I think
yeah.
I don't know if you said it was ATR. I couldn't hear exactly what you pronounced it to be, but it had to do with the strike price. The
Mm-hmm.
indicator for the strike price was that ATR.
ATR,
Can you
average
explain
true
what that
range.
does?
Yes, so your ATR, it's like your the mileage on your car, like when you go get gas and you know how many miles you have to empty. So that's how your ATR helps you pick out some strike prices that you want to use. That's my key. That's my baby. Like when it comes to SPY and ATR together, it's magic. And the one that I use is by Trader Creator. ATR versus day trading range by Trader Creator. I keep it on my chart every day, just to see how much room we have to go up or down.
Great, thank you.
Hi.
Hey, Winnie.
Hey, quick question. Do you also look at like the volume interest when you're picking up the strike price at
Yeah.
all for spot?
Key
You do.
volume and open interest has to be 1,000 minimum unless I'm swing trading. So if I'm swinging and we're going 2 to 4 weeks out, I may give it some lenience where it may not be there because a lot of times I'm looking at price action and where the market's going to move here soon, kind of predicting. So everybody may not be there yet, especially for the cost of some of the contracts. But other than that, if you're in day trades and you're doing zero DTEs or anything, minimum 1,000 on both sides. But if you're trading Yahoo, Tesla, or SPY or IWM on a daily, they're all gonna meet. So that you're gonna have to depend more on the chart versus what you see on the option trading.
Okay. And then one more thing. Can you explain the ORB one more time? Because I think I get that confused when I look at it on my chart because I'm that one that have all those indicators and I need to
Now that
clean my
spaghetti off your chart. So your orb is your opening breakout range. And again, Kendra can correct me if I'm wrong because I just started learning it since she used it. But we're taking the price, the low and the high of that 15-minute candle, and you're looking for a breakout above or below one of those levels to get strong confluence into which direction it's going in, and that helps us pick our strike. So if we breaking below, we're going to be getting puts, and if we're breaking above, we're getting calls.
Thank you.
Some strategies for specific tickers because I've been trading them for a while. But again, SPY, IWM, I trade everything if I like it, but I try to keep it simple. I don't look at more than like 5 tickers at a time. Again, boring trading pays the bills. If you look at my channel, it's not too many tickers that I'm going to talk about because I don't want to waste my energy if you ask me like what's my favorite book, I don't have favorite books to read on the market because I went through med school. Reading isn't pleasurable that much anymore. So I use what's simple and what's repeatable. And that's what kind of got me through a lot of my education. Keeping it simple, not to just say, oh, I read 10 books and it makes me a master trader. No, me making some money in trading and being able to duplicate it and have 12 other people duplicate it, that's mastery.
I have a question.
Yes, CD.
What do you watch or listen to for market news?
I'm gonna be honest with you. See, I'll put CNBC on sometimes, but I don't watch a lot of TV or a lot of news. I let the chart show me what needs to be there. But in the very beginning, I will put Yahoo Finance on and let it play. I watch stock market movies when I'm trading because it's fun and I listen to them and can relate to the movie differently now that I am in my market. So I'll watch Trading Places multiple times. I'll watch Wolf of Wall Street because that's the psychology behind it. But the news, I mean, CNBC, Yahoo Finance, whichever one you like. If you're listening to something and you're scrolling on your phone, that's not the one you want to listen to. You want something that's going to be engaging and kind of triggering for you to be able to be great in the market. So it can be background noise sometimes, but you do want something you can relate to. Yeah, Squawk Box is good too.
Thank you.
I have one more question. What kind of trader are you? Are you a swing trader, scalper, or
I can swing trade. I like it. That's how I first learned out. My mentor Diamond Dave taught me how to swing trade first, and then I learned how to day trade and scalp from other mentors. I enjoy scalping. I love the move off the um volatility a lot. So I'm very much seasoned in scalping, but I love a swing. Your scalping and day trading pays for every day. Your swing trades pays for things in your sleep. So
that's
keep
what
that in
I'm
mind.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to learn how to swing because what I'm learning with on my new journey, the scalping when you're trying to work a 9 to 5, it can't
Yeah, it's
I
not gonna work. Long
yes.
term, it doesn't work,
Well,
and
not
it's
saying it like that.
defeating. Yes, long term it doesn't work for everybody. There's a small percentage that it will, but I don't like to discourage 9 to 5ers, but I would like for them to understand that swinging may be better. No, you're not going to see every return. You're not going to see all the 300%, and sometimes they do, but still making money while you're asleep or not actively watching the market is still great. And there are multiple great. I take trades and I'll cut them at 200%. Go back to my watch list on the swing. If I show y'all one now, I called back on May 2nd, SoFi, January 16th, $20 strike. Go look at what that strike was on May 5th and then go look at it what it is now. Do I still
Okay.
have it? No. Am I disappointed? Yes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I have a question, please.
Yes.
So I asked, and lady already responded, but I'm not sure she understands my question. So it's about stop loss. I'm new to trading,
Okay.
and I work, so I
Okay.
can't stay on the chart for so long. But then, while looking at the chart or placing a trade, oh, I have the level, actual price level I want to use for my stop loss. So I'm going short, and my stop using target, for example, price is at $98, and I'm going short, and I don't want it to exceed $99, right? But then on the premium side, like where the options change, how do I get that particular premium level? Is it possible so that I can just set it, okay, the equivalent premium price for the 98 price level is $3, or I don't know if you get my question. So to
No,
be
I
familiar,
understand what you're saying. Instead of it being a percent or dollar amount, you want to set it at that particular price level from the chart.
yes, or
Okay.
on the options change, just to have that
Yeah.
exact, is it possible to get that exact premium
Yep.
dollar? How do I do that? I'm struggling.
What brokerages are you using?
I the Webull and Quest trade for now.
Are you using your mobile or your desktop?
I'm using my phone to place trades and I watch on my iPad.
Perfect. Okay, go to your phone. You're going when you
Okay.
go to the option change and you're about to place that trade, you're gonna see a button drop down that says limit. You're gonna hit that drop down and go down to group orders. And that's where you're gonna be able to put that in your setting for a stop loss and a take profit.
So Webull, go to can I try? So can you come again? Sorry.
Yeah. So let's go to SPY. Everybody walk through it with me. I'm cutting my phone on. Let's go to Webull. We're gonna go to SPY and we're gonna pick on
Five,
the option chain.
five. Okay. Okay.
Pick we're going with the 645 call.
Six
So
forty-four. Okay.
when you click it on your order screen, you should see buy and sell. Your buy is going to be highlighted, and the next is going to be order type, and it says limit. On that limit, click that drop down and come to group orders, and that group order is going to be limit and market. Once you click that, that's where you'll be able to set your stop loss and take profit.
Okay. At particular premium dollar amounts.
Mhm.
Okay.
I haven't used Turbo Trader. I think Court and you guys are more versed in it. So I need to understand the Turbo Trader lady.
Mm, okay. Group orders, limit plus take profit, stop loss. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I have a question.
Yes, Heather.
Okay, so while we're on brokerage, which one do you recommend for like fast execution of your trade? Like, I know Thinkorswim sometimes tweaks out.
Mm-mm. I'm not using
So
Thinkorswim.
I
I
don't
don't like
know.
them. I use Market and I'm using Webull. Robinhood is slow and their data doesn't update, even though it's cheap and easy to use. But I love Webull. Thinkorswim is too clunky. I gotta go in and get my password, unlock. By that time, I done missed the trade. I done missed my entry. I like
Yeah.
Webull.
Yeah, Webull has that turbo trader, but I'm just not sure how to set a stop loss with a market order. Like when I want to get in real quick and get out. I don't know how to
On the
set a stop loss with the turbo trader.
I'm not sure. I just use it regular. I don't use it on turbo, and I just set mine and I enter it, and I just leave it alone.
Yeah, because the regular is it's just like too many steps, especially if you set a
It's
stop loss. You got to
yeah,
cancel it
it's
and then you got to
no,
go
it's
back
not too
in and
many.
close it.
Let me see if
Unless
y'all
I'm
can
doing
see
it
this.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, can y'all see this? You can set it when you first place the order.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm talking about when you get out. One time I couldn't get out and it made
Now, if
me
the
made
market
me
is too
lose the
volatile,
trade.
yeah,
Yeah.
if it's volatile, you can't really kind of get a, beside that part. But as long as the
Hmm.
market is moving okay, there's just sometimes when it will skip. But majority of the time, you set your stop loss and take profit, it's gonna close. And I've had mine close with more in profit before because they couldn't close it at that strike. It just kept falling, and I got a little bit
Hmm.
more. So it's a sometimes you get a little bit more, sometimes you don't. But Weeble is a lot better with it. I don't.
Webull
I
is
like I said.
good. Okay, that's good. And also, do you have any recommendations as far as with trade psychology on how not to revenge trade? Because I be feeling like the market robs me. And
Delete
so,
the app, lock yourself out, put your phone in the back. I got a truck driver that
lock
revenge
it.
try like put that other phone in the back of the truck and close it. Find you something else to do. When I'm trading and I revenge trade, I go outside, I go walk my dog, I go find something to do, I go clean the house. I just stop doing that.
You
I do
just get
something
up.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also I do surveys. So I'll go apply for some surveys to make some easy money. So you gotta find something that's gonna detach you from the market, and that's a discipline. It's just a discipline thing. I'm going to close the app and I'm not going back in. I traded. I'm done. I can go trade tomorrow. I hit my limit. I've lost two trades today, moving on,
Yeah.
or three. I'm done for the day. and we're gonna come pick it back up tomorrow, or I do alternating brokerage. Let's say I take three bad trades in my Weeble account, boom, I'm done with Weeble. We're three strikes out over there. Well, I still have my Robinhood account and I can take one or two less risky trades over there. So sometimes alternating which brokerages you're growing or trading in can kind of do that. I'll be disciplined and say, okay, I've had too many losses. I'm only trading to 10% in this brokerage for the next month. So it'll make you more disciplined, make you journal properly and see, are you entering too early, too late, what trades you needed to hold longer or let go. So it's just about how you are as a person and what's more effective for you in being disciplined, journaling, cutting, stop trading, removing all money from the account. It's certain tactics you can use.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jazz, I had not a suggestion, but um one, again, you did great. Can y'all hear me?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. One, you did great. I love the fact that this giving back to the community thing, doing free classes, free sessions, just popping up, kickback, just talking about trading and getting people acclimated to the market. I wanted to share that I have an upcoming class on September 27th, and it's also a free session. It is not a paid session, it's free. And we were sold out yesterday, but I'm gonna add like 40 more tickets or so for everybody that's here. It's very important to give back to the community. As a OG trader, I call myself an OG. It's been 6 years now. Um, I show up to spaces like this, even though I don't need a class. I'm not a beginner. I trade. Chaz, you've been in my classes. I've been in yours. Court, Kendra, like we all in this together. It's important to give back to the community. And the biggest thing is showing up. The fact that everyone here showed up, it just says a lot about your journey and about what you valuing information, especially when it's coming from people genuine in the space that you want to be in. It's important. Proximity is powerful. So being in the room with you got me, you got Chas, you got Kendra, you got Court. I know there's probably a few more seasoned traders in here, but you don't even know the type of power you just tapped into just by being in the room. So I just want to extend the opportunity to everybody that's here that there's a free session on September 27th that also speaks on trading and AI income. Okay. Um, Chaz, you're into other streams of passive income as well. Like you just told her, close your laptop, you go and do surveys, da 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 da. I'm focusing this next class is on trading as well as passive income opportunities in other spaces because the psychology behind trading will make you lose your mind sometimes. Sometimes we be ready to crash out because the market be trying us. So sometimes it'll really get us in our emotions, even though we're not supposed to be in our emotions. Um, It'll get us in our feelings and we need something else to tap into. And I hear a lot of people like, hey, I can't get this trade and it's not clicking. I've been on a losing streak for like a week. You need to tap into something else in order to supplement, like let trading, give it a break for a second. Don't quit, but give it a break for a second, make some money somewhere else and then come back to it with a fresh set of eyes. So everyone, yeah, the class is free. The tickets are free. They're on Eventbrite. I'll drop the link if it's possible. And Chas, I wanted to invite you to be a speaker on the panel because it's not just me speaking. I'm speaking on trading. I have another woman who's speaking on AI income. And you do your surveys and stuff. So I'm like, if you like a spot on the panel,
For
feel
sure.
free to tag in.
For sure. You said something like it's been my testimony since my birthday. And before that, being present is better than the present. It's just been, I'm probably
Mm.
gonna have to do a sermon on it because it's been so deep and showing up into me multiple and multiple times over this weekend. But being present is more than the present or the gift. Like show up for your people. I'm gonna show up for Lady even if I don't speak, but I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna make sure my schedule is there. But I'm glad you all are here. Like I said, majority of my guests are about to leave, so I'm gonna have to hop off. If y'all got more questions, please direct them at court and he'll get them to me. But I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for showing up to this. I appreciate you all. But I don't want everybody to leave and not get to see me.